Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Open Singles last 16 matches. My name's Rob Bowen, and a couple of very interesting matches we've got going on here. Match on the left between Mathew Franceschini. I hope I'm pronouncing that one all right. I'm not too familiar with Mathew. So Matthew's from WA, and Ryan King, who is from New Zealand North. And on the right-hand side, we have Alex Pace from Tasmania and Matt Harmon from the ACT. Um, I personally think this match on the right-hand side is one of the draws of the round. I think it's a fascinating draw. Um, Two excellent players, but two very different players. Um, so Alex Pace probably hasn't been around the scene a huge amount over the last few years. He's an extremely talented player. Actually was runner-up on this event back in 2019, losing to the great Ben Noonan. But yeah, I think in all fairness, he's probably taken a little bit of a break from the game over the last year or so while he's been focusing on other things. But great to see him back, and it looks like he's hitting a really good ball, judging by his results in the teams and in the other singles events so far. So great to have him back. And Matty Harmon, very different, but once again, a top player, a bit more of a steady Eddie, pretty much makes the last eight or better of every tournament he plays in. It's really solid all-round player, so it's a really interesting contrast to styles because Alex goes for everything, whereas Matty's perhaps just that little considered in his approach. So I'm going to focus mainly on the Alex versus Matt Harmon match because I think it is such a great match, but I will also keep an eye on the match on the left with Ryan and Mathew as well. I was watching this match a little bit earlier, the first couple of frames. I didn't see the first one actually, but the second frame, Matt would be very disappointed to lose. He had two really good chances to win the frame and wasn't able to take either. So another good chance here to get himself on the scoreboard. And just as I say that, he's scratched the white in the left middle pocket. So golden chance for Alex to take a real strong grip of this match. The race to 7, so 3-0 leads a relatively commanding lead in what is a relatively short race. No real problems here for Alex. He's just, I suppose, the only one that's close to a problem, and I think he's absolutely fine on it, is the one that's closest to the black, but I thought he may have considered taking that first into the left centre, but he's chosen not to. He's obviously not as difficult to get on as it may look, and obviously it's in close proximity to the black as well. So if he is going to maybe leave that till last, you would imagine that that would avail pretty good position on the 8 ball. No, he's taking it now. He's on it perfect, so no issues there. Yeah, it's taken these well, as you'd expect. Nice little bit of angle on the yellow to the top right corner, probably just stunned down for the black into the bottom left, I would imagine. He's overhit that quite badly. I assume that was what he's played. He's just really overhit it by probably a foot or more. And he has no real shot on the black. He's maybe got a thin cut to the top left. But yeah, not easy by any means, and he would have expected a far easier black than this to take a 3-0 lead. Guys, I think we've got somebody else joining us in the commentary. Jason Smiley, are you there? Oh, he's plotted the white and the black sits right over the pocket. So a golden opportunity here for Matt Harmon to get back in this match at 2-1. There you have it, 2-1. So a little bit of a messy match at the moment. Like I said, into the first frame, but frame two could have gone either way. Matt Harmon missing a couple of chances, and then Alex will be really disappointed not to take that chance there with ball in hand. I can hear you, Dan. I'm guessing that's a no, Dan.
Not a bad spread there from Ryan.
It's Wale.
Rob Bowen, how are you?
Very well, mate. Welcome to the commentary box, the virtual commentary box.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, as always.
So, mate, you've missed a few frames, so we're sort of into the fourth frame in both matches. Listen, I've sort of said that I was keen to focus mainly on the right-hand match. I think it's probably one of the matches of the round for me, but also keeping an eye on the match on the left. But yeah, two very interesting matches.
Yeah, 100% agree there, Rob. I think the match on the right is has got a lot of class in it and a lot of pedigree from these two guys, and I think it's probably they're both going to get on with the match as well. I'm not saying that the left-hand one won't, but might just be a little bit more tactical on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I was saying before, to me, the match on the right's a real clash of styles. You've got Alex Pace, who's one of the most attacking players in the game. He literally goes for everything, and when he's on, he gets most of them. And Maddie's probably just a little bit more great player, you know, like genuinely one of the top players in Australia, and makes the latter stages of pretty much every tournament he plays in. But probably a little bit more considered in his approach than Alex. So it's a really interesting clash of styles.
Yeah, it is, and I just tend to think that the open style of play probably suits Alex a little bit better on these tables. I think Matty Harmon is a great player, and he's got a fantastic cue action and a mind for the game as well. But I just think that these tables are just playing a little bit too open if Alex is on. Is that your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'd absolutely agree. So the first few frames have been interesting. I didn't see the first one, but the second frames 2 and 3, probably the guys who lost those frames would have been very disappointed to do so. So Matty Harmon had two big chances in the second frame that he didn't take, and then Alex had a big chance with ball in hand in the third frame and he didn't take it. So that last frame was a good out from Alex off the break, I think, and now Matty has a chance to return serve. But yeah, going back to your comment, I think so. I think the tables do play really nice. You know that they do promote attacking play, and I don't think it's any coincidence that Alex Pace looks like he's hitting a really good ball. You know, he's shooting good stats in the teams event. He's through to the semi-final of the plate event. Obviously going well in this open event, open singles event. So yeah, definitely suits his play.
Yeah, they certainly do, and I think they very much suit his play because he's so, as you said, attacking and confident, that if he's on, he's a very, very big threat for the Australian team and the actual title. So I think you're spot on the money there, Rob.
So
It'd be
Matty's
interesting to see. Sorry. Oh, just about overcooked that.
Yeah, so Matty's opted for the yellows here. Really just one problem ball, which is the one nearest the bottom left corner pocket. Um, but still got time to do something about that. I'm pretty sure he'll be wanting to address it sooner rather than later if he's attacking, but yeah, a bit of work to do.
Yeah, definitely a bit of work to do. I think you can play a shot where it sort of just kisses both balls, but it's very kind of unrealistic, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. You might be right, Smiley. I don't think that shot's on. You know about playing rail first and then the red and then rail first and the second red?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's on. I don't think the gap between the rail and the red is big enough for it to be able to pass through because you've got to sort of hit the bottom side of the red. He's missed the yellow anyway, so we're probably not going to find out now. But yeah, I'm not sure that shot was on.
No, I don't think it was. And now Alex has got absolutely in prime position just to be able to mop up the two up the top, get on the right-hand side rail, and go game. And I think we will see him do that. He's already won 3 frames out of the match, so he's obviously already going.
So that was a little bit loose, and that's part of the challenge with Pacey really is that he's such a talented player and he plays so quickly that sometimes he makes really careless mistakes. I 100% agree with you. He should have been on this red on the right side rail now, but because he played such a careless shot that first shot and left himself too much angle, he had to run into the yellow, was trusting to look a little bit, and now isn't on it. And now he's got to reroute and go a different way.
And it's almost worked out okay, and I think he's still on this ball, so he might still be on the out, but it's definitely 100 times harder than what it needed to be.
Yeah, I think that's just the difference at the moment between Alex's game and I guess some of the guys who are winning multiple tournaments is that he's got so much ability, but because he just plays a little bit careless at times, he can make the game that little bit harder than it needs to be, rather than being consistently precise and making the game easy. He ends up having to play a lot
Exactly
of
right.
execution shots.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So I think he's probably going to have to take this ball up the rail now to the top right pocket. As we've probably seen these Racing tables, if you hit them pretty good, the pockets do accept them, but he's still got to hit it pretty good.
Yeah, a little soft screw and he might sort of be on it. I think he's, yeah,
It's come out too much.
I would have liked to see him commit a little bit more to that. And I think if he
I
didn't jump
agree.
up on the ball and sort of play it a little bit soft, I think he would have just made it easy on himself, get back on this ball and then go game.
Yeah, I 100% agree, Smiley. I think the interesting. So I've played obviously a fair bit on these tables, and the thing about the way that the pockets play is that they accept pace. So if you hit them good, or even pretty close to good, they accept pace. So it's almost like
Yeah,
he's hit that soft because he wanted to allow give the pocket the best chance, but he's almost sacrificed position in playing that way, and he hasn't hit it as well as he may have done if he'd have played it with a bit more conviction. So
yeah,
he's
potentially,
turned over the
potentially had
table.
another kick as well.
Okay.
It looked like it
Oh,
might
mate,
have straightened up
thinking,
a tiny bit.
are you thinking about turnover here?
Needs to get the cue ball right. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
don't
on.
think it is either, Smiling. Yeah, I'm quite shocked at that. I mean, to me, those balls were all on. I guess, as I said before, he has made a couple of mistakes in the match already, so perhaps he's not feeling at his absolute best and therefore wanted a bit more security in the out. But in doing so, he's turned the table over to Pacey and he's now 4-1 down.
Yeah, 100% agree. I just don't think you can do that against such a good player. You might be able to do it in a league match and get away with it, but you can't see you doing that against top liners and getting away with it.
So just while these guys are racking up on the right-hand table, do you know much about Mathew and Ryan?
I know a little bit about Ryan just from the Pro Series and the Challenger Series for Pockets. I don't know if I've seen Mathew Franceschini, I'm going to attempt that, play too much, but he obviously plays pretty solid.
Yeah, the same really. Obviously, I know Ryan from the Pro Series as well. Very capable player. Did great to win that first Challenger event, and then I think he held his own pretty well in the Pro Series. Mathew, yeah, not so familiar. I haven't seen him play for WA before, so obviously there's a few new players in this WA side. So I'm not familiar with Mathew. I mean, he's 2-1 up on Ryan, so he's obviously capable. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen him play.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, the obvious thing is that they live in WA, and a lot of the guys don't travel unless they're, want to be favourites to win the tournament. So a lot of us East Coasters don't really see a lot of the West Coast guys play, apart from the top liners. So I think that has a bit to do with it.
So back to the table on the right. A good chance here for Matty Harmon. He's on the Reds. No major problems. The biggest problem ball is the one that's closest to the black spot. He's potentially got a shot here to either move it or land on it.
Yeah, even moving the yellow to the right of it might not be a bad idea. He's got a good line to come down. Exactly like that. Great shot.
He's played it well. He's probably got marginally unlucky actually, because the angle that he's left himself on the red to the left centre is quite tricky now. It's really not obvious how he transitions from this red to his next red. He's probably going to have to play quite a big shot, either forcing the white through with topspin off the yellow that it's close to. I think that's probably looking at a screw shot to come around the other way, but this is a big shot.
I was going to say, I think the screw shot with check side just to go back up through the gap might have been the way. I don't think the wide shot is really there with those two balls. So if you had have sort of stunned it off the bottom rail with a bit of check side, I think it might have been a bit of a better option. Then you leave yourself options on both sides of the table.
He's in a bit of trouble here now. I mean, he may have a double to left centre. I'm not too sure whether that yellow is blocking it. Alternatively, it's hard to see how he leaves Alex off a shot with a safety. Maybe just screwing behind, like touching ball on the yellow that he's closest to. Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble here.
I think that's probably the safest option, and he's played it pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, he hasn't left anything easy.
Nothing easy, and he's kind of left that red in an awkward position. If Pacey doesn't get it perfect, he should be on that ball. But it is just an easy sort of flick off down the bottom here, and leave him off. The ball's up the top, and then the ball to the middle, block it with that ball that's closest to the black spot. But that is very tricky.
The way Pacey's looking at playing that, I'm wondering whether it's touching ball or not. He was looking to come off the side rail, but no, he's decided to play a different shot. That's pretty good. I think that's probably a total snooker. Maybe consider the red closest to the left rail, but other than that, certainly no attacking option. It'll need to be a safety for Matty here.
Yeah, it definitely has to be. And if he does play the ball on the left, he has to keep it in play and try and get the red back into the line, because otherwise I think Pacey's going to have another good chance to go game. So the position of this red is very crucial. after this shot. Just a touch too wide.
Yeah. Probably, I actually don't think it was wide. It was more the pace of it, really. Like his line was alright if he'd have played it 6 to 8 inches shorter. But yeah, as it is,
Yep.
his left pacey options. He's got a couple of longish pots, which if he gets either of them, you'd make him a strong favourite to go out from here.
Yeah, exactly right. And Alex being a snooker player background and a fantastic pot, he'll just be licking his lips at this.
And one to the right corner here.
Ooh, wanted to get that cannon.
Yeah, I listen. I personally would have gone the other way, just simply because the white ball was always running into the yellow there. So you are trusting a little bit to luck. He's not in dire straits here. I'm pretty sure that the yellow closest to the black spot goes right centre. So he'd be confident in getting that, but he's just once again made his work a little bit harder than he would have liked.
He definitely has, and even if he wanted to play the harder pot, he could potentially play the long pot. But I think this is the right shot.
Yep,
played it in
well.
such a way to open up the pockets.
So no major issues here. So probably a couple of balls he'll just want to have a plan for is the one that's closest to his hand right now and also closest to the black. That's an example of pacey play different to a lot of other players.
What a ripping shot.
It's a great shot, but yeah, I don't think too many players would have played that shot. Yeah, he still just needs to work out what he's doing with that one nearest to black. It's not an issue, it goes into probably 4 pockets, but you just want to have a plan for that one. Yeah, it looks like he's playing it now.
Yeah, little roll through. Well, knowing pacey, it'll be a stun run through, screw off the black, and then land perfect.
Yeah, he does play the game a bit different to a lot of people, which makes commentating on him a little bit challenging.
Well, you need to think outside the box a lot.
Yeah.
And just another careless safety from Matt Harmon. We know he can do it because he's such a good player, but just leaving pacey a couple of chances too many in this match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as we said before, you'd have thought in terms of the tactical side of the game, he would have had the upper hand, but he's played a couple that he'd be pretty disappointed with. And yeah, at 5-1 down, he's had chances in at least 3 frames, and unfortunately hasn't taken them, so he's got to find a way to lift.
Yeah, he definitely does, and this frame coming up is a very, very important one, especially being his break. He needs to make a statement here, or at least get himself in a good spot.
Just while they're racking the balls, just address a couple of comments on the chat. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We've got 150 viewers, which is awesome for a Monday afternoon. Why aren't you all at work? Don't know who DSFBSDFV is, but they're asking why I'm not at Nationals this year. So fortunately, guys, for me, playing at Worlds a few months ago and Nationals in the same year was just too much. Couldn't really afford a time off work or time away from family, so I opted not to try and make the Victoria team this year. But looking forward to hopefully playing next year. And Chad Mitchell suggesting that I'm getting paid for this, which, as you well know, Smiley, is definitely not the case.
I wish it was. Yeah,
so
I'm
dry break
kind
from Maddie there.
Kind of in a similar boat. Dry break, balls everywhere, and not an easy starter. So, kind of a bit tricky still.
You're probably not too unhappy if you're Matty with that break, to be fair. As you say, they're spread pretty well. And yeah, there isn't an easy starter, so Alex needs to play a good shot here to get to the table or to hold Maddie at bay. And that's not great.
No, it brings a red out into play that kind of didn't need to be.
Hey, listen, giving Alex the benefit of the doubt there, he may actually be trying to tempt Matty into this. Matty's clearly not flying at the moment. They're not easy. Like he's only really got a starter on reds. If he goes reds, there's a red tied up at the top, and the black doesn't. Its ideal pocket is blocked by the yellow. So yeah, I think Matty's quite rightly turning this down.
It's a pretty decent safety, but he has left a little bit of a gap between the. I think we'll definitely see Alex go for this. If he turns this down, I'll be shocked.
Are you thinking reds or yellow, Smiler?
Reds. I think yellows are still fine. Obviously, it's only the ball, the yellow near the black, but that can be dealt with if you wanted to go yellows.
It's missed.
It was a tricky shot.
It was. I'll be honest, I liked the star on yellows was that a bit harder, but at 5-1, I sort of fancied him to get down and smash in the one that's closest to the left rail, and then all the yellows have a pocket.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say that
100%.
the one right on the right rail doesn't, but in the one over the corner it does. So it'd be interesting to see which colour Matty goes now, with his hand on the table and both of them looking pretty decent.
Yeah. Honestly, Rob, the black's not perfect. Like, it can still be missed. And I think if you did go yellows, you could have a good shout to sort of get like a 3/4 ball angle, play the yellow off the rail, pop the ball over the hole, still come back out into play, and maybe move the black. It might be a little bit crazy from the outset, but I still think that is a viable option.
Well, he's now got a perfect angle on this ball nearest the bottom rail to actually move that black if he wants to. I assume that's what he's played, because the black is not horrible, but it's certainly not ideal either. You'd probably much rather bump it out into the open.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm just wondering why he's not playing that now.
Interesting. But the one thing I would say, mate, is that these Raston tables, the middles, when you drop them in at dead weight, are very, very accepting. So it's difficult to tell from the camera angle sometimes, but I would imagine that black into the middle is probably a ball that Mathew would be pretty confident of making. So maybe that's the logic of leaving it where it is on an Aussie 7-foot table. That's probably a black that you'd really want to move. On the Rastons, you're probably a bit more confident that you can just dribble it in.
Yeah, 100%, and that's why Reds were probably a good ball. And it's actually funny you said that, Rob, because on Ryan King's table, we talk about the middles being accepting. He's actually fluked a massive ball, gotten on the black, and it's come off the jaw in the middle. So just see him put his hand up there.
Yeah.
Bit of good fortune.
I bet Matthew's right in his happy place right now. The Matty Harmon has chosen to get the black out, but in a different way to what we thought, and he's played it really well. So it's now nice in the middle of the table. Goes into at least 3 pockets, both centre pockets or the bottom left, I think. And now he's just got to work out how he's going to attack the 2 reds that are close together. So obviously he'll be playing the red to the bottom left, and it looks like the right of the 2 reds does go into the right centre. So he's in pretty good shape here.
This just needs a little bit of finesse, doesn't it? And he has gone too far. I really think that needed a little bit more finesse. Just sort of like a slight drag shot where you take the pace out of the cue ball and just land up into the yellow.
So my suspicion is that he's played to hit that yellow full ball, hasn't judged correctly. Judging by the pace, I'll be shocked if Matty's over hit it by a foot if he was just trying to drift into space. I'm pretty sure he's played to cannon the yellow and just missed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in a whole world of pain now. Pacey comes to the table. we're in a pretty favourable position. Once again, the only real challenging ball is the one on the right-hand side rail. All the others are nice and open and have fairly obvious pockets. So really, it's just about mapping this correctly. As we've seen with Alex, his mapping isn't always conventional, so we'll see how he goes with this.
Straight off the bat, plays a shot that is not really conventional for that type of position.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what he does with this yellow on the right-hand side rail.
Yeah, he's yeah, I guess without wanting to sound too critical, that's probably another example of how Alex's shot selection perhaps lets him down at times. He had a lot of options there, and I don't know. The ones that he went for just didn't really make too much sense. It's easy here from the commentary box. I'm yet to make a mistake from the commentary box, but yeah, I think that was a strange way to go about it.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% have to agree there. I think he could have just waited at least one more ball to try and get into that, try and move it.
Well, the thing is, Jason, like, he didn't need to move it really. He could have mapped the out to just take that yellow into the bottom right-hand pocket. You know, if he'd have taken the one over the pocket early and then worked out a map to drop on it down the rail, it's a very reasonable ball to put down the rail. But straight away, he looked like he was looking for ways to move it, where I'm not sure that a Jake McCartney or a Justin Sage or a Mark Robertson would have been looking to move that ball.
No, 100% think you're right there. Probably thinking more high percentage about the out, whereas Alex can sometimes be a little bit lax, a little bit careless in how he plays those type of outs.
He's played a bit of a containing safety there. Pretty sure that Matty can't hit either red without hitting a rail anyway. I think Matty played quite a smart shot actually. He clearly played it as a skill shot, hoping that the red would have followed the yellow in, but knowing that in not potting it, he had pretty much control of the pocket that the black's closest to. So even if Matty does fail to hit one of his reds here and Alex Pace gets ball in hand, Alex has still got a lot of work to do here to get out a yellow and a black, or play a skill shot and pop the red over the pocket, but a lot of work to do either way.
Yeah, do you think it was the right ball to play that turnover shot on or not?
The shot that Matt played?
Yeah.
I do, yeah. I think it's a good two-way shot. I feel like if you got this, because to me, he definitely played it as a skill shot first and foremost, but with the fallback of the turnover, and I feel like it's left him in a pretty strong position here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he had have played that other ball, what kind of frame we'd be looking at. You're probably right. He probably needs the two balls over this pocket just to make sure that he can't get the pocket taken back.
Yeah, I think there's probably two reasons for it. One was, like so, that other red gives him a bit of control with the yellow. But secondly, I don't think he could have played the skill shot with the other red. So in taking in the one he did, he had a two-way shot with it.
Yeah, like he had a chance to potentially go game then and there.
Yeah. So it looks like Alex is going to try and have a dip here. I assume he's going to try and play a skill shot off this yellow and pop the red over the pocket. Even if he does get that, he's still got some work to do with the other yellow, but I can't see what else he's trying to do here by potting balls.
No, it's quite strange. He could play this and put the top red in behind the black like he has there. That's not the worst shot, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a pretty good effort. So he has left the edge, and Matty can definitely pot this, but Matty's got to come round off probably 4 rails to get on the black here, because this is thin, so the white ball's going to be running. So he's probably going to be coming round off left-hand side top, then right side rail to try and get near the black again.
You could potentially try and squeeze it with left-hand side and come off 2 rails, like the up and down. But that's got to be played very well. Oh, he's played it quite good. I don't think... Is he on the ball?
He's played it great.
What a shot. That was a fantastic shot.
It was a very good shot.
He didn't need to actually... Thank you, mate. Sometimes they come. The day will come when I can actually back up the calls. So.
There you have it. So Mathew Harmon brings it back to 5-2 down against Alex Pace. While we're here, I will just quickly run through some of the scores from around the grounds. Some very interesting matches in the last 16 of the Australian Open singles. So in the top match, the number 1 seed, Andy Barnett, is 4-3 up against young Riley James from New Zealand. I don't know whether you guys have seen much of Riley James, but he's a very talented young player. Was at the World Titles a few months ago with New Zealand in the youth categories and did extremely well in those. So he's a very talented player, and no surprise that he's pushing Andy Barnett all the way. Early days in the match between Jeff Cluyes and Macwin Fernandez. Macwin in a 1-0 lead there. Travis Crawley is 2-1 down against Morgan Evans from Queensland. In one of the other ties of the round, Cale Barrett against Simon Singleton is currently 3-3. That's a real high quality match between
that is a cracking match.
It is, yeah. And as you'd expect, very tight at the moment. In a potential, not a major upset, but a potential minor upset, Craig Stevens currently leads Rusty Wheeler 4-1. You would obviously have Rusty as a favourite in that, but I don't think Rusty, from what I've seen this week, has been anywhere near his best. And Craig is also a top-level player, so not a massive surprise, but obviously Rusty would have been one of the big favourites coming into this. And they've only just started in the match between Chris Beagley and Josh Gorski, which once again is a very interesting match, a bit of a battle of styles again. So yeah, some interesting matches in there, Smiley.
Yeah, very very similar match, that bottom one you just said, to our match on the right hand table. I think Beegs plays a very very similar game to Matt Harmon, and as we know, Josh Gorski is a very very attacking player, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, good call. I think that it is, like I say, a very similar clash of styles, to be fair.
Yeah, and with the Rusty thing, I think, I don't know how much time he's put in, but he clearly has to put a bit of time in to be coming in and completely dominating. But Craig Stevens is a very good player. I think doesn't get the raps he deserves a lot of the time, but he is an exceptional player.
Yeah, I agree. I actually said on commentary yesterday, I think that Craig Stevens has got one of the best white balls in Australian pool, actually. He hasn't necessarily had a big... I say that. He won the Pockets Challenger a couple of years ago, which was a big achievement in itself. But other than that, he hasn't really had a huge breakthrough win. But he's a very talented player, and his white ball is excellent.
Yeah, it is. And I am still waiting for that breakout sort of big win. I think he just gets a tiny bit bogged down in his thoughts when he comes up against a lot of top liners. Like when he gets to the business end of the tournament, he kind of loses a little bit of steam sometimes. But yeah, when he's on, he is an exceptional player, rack after rack, of perfect position, perfect play, and he's definitely capable of that.
Meanwhile, Matty Harmon's at the table here with a good chance to bring this back to 5-3. He could have done with missing that yellow. He's now got a very tricky shot to make this red and get position on his last red.
I think he might be able to squeeze the line to miss the ball. Sort of play like a bit of a billiard shot with right hand side. I think he can
turn it
nearly
over.
miss it. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you can. The only thing I'd say is that these rails are still sliding on the superfine cloth. It's gone the other way. I don't think he necessarily wanted to cannon it, but I don't think the angle was there to not do so. And he's come out pretty good. Well, more than pretty good. It's come out good.
Yeah, pretty good. Just pot this with like not stunning it, but just with sort of middle, and you should cannon into the yellow pretty nicely, and hold position.
Yeah. Anything near full ball on this yellow, and he's laughing.
That's
There
good.
we go.
And one black away from Matt Harmon, coming back by 2 frames in the last 2, putting a little bit of pressure on Alex.
Yeah, very good from Matty. I think, as we said, both players have made mistakes, and Matty punished the mistake in the last frame and compounds it with a out off Alex's dry break in that frame. So if we can go and run this next rack now as well, all of a sudden we have a very different match on our hands from looking like Alex was going to run away with it at 5-1. All of a sudden, if he can run this rack and bring it back to 5-4, you'd argue that Matt Harmon becomes favourite because he's got all the momentum.
100% agree. He still needs 2 frames, Alex does, so it's not like it's just guaranteed I can't lose from here. He still needs to play quite well to keep Matt off of the table.
Just watching that that frame on the left hand there, that was a really smart shot from Ryan King actually. I automatically assumed he was going to go for the out, but he's played a really clever turnover shot there, that's just giving himself complete control.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing as soon as you said it. It was a really, really nice shot.
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously why Mathew just doesn't want to open up this other yellow, even though it's probably the easier ball to hit.
Correct. Yeah, you want to leave that there and let Ryan have to get it out.
Wow.
Was that a legitimate attempt there, Smiley, do you think?
Wow, that's also going through my mind, but I don't know if we can be that mean and call that on him. And Ryan's not even worrying about it, he's just getting on with it.
Right, he'll just separate these balls and leave Mathew in a whole world of pain.
I tell you what though, I do not like that shot. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong. Well, look where the yellow is. There's a possibility.
I think he's blocked the one. Yeah, I think he's blocked the one railer though. If he left the one railer, okay, I would agree it's a very poor shot. I'm suspecting that he hasn't left the one railer. Yeah, looking at the shot
that's actually probably fair. Potentially just could have been a little bit of a better shot, but it's still good. Don't get me wrong, it's still good.
There's a result for you. He's probably going to play a very similar shot here, actually.
I was going to say, is it a result for Ryan or is it a result for Mathew? Because this ball on the right-hand side rail still isn't easy.
I think it was a result for Mathew with tying up the red at the top end behind the yellow. But I automatically assumed as soon as it landed there, he'd basically played the same shot that he just played, as in put the white behind the red, create some separation between the yellow and red, and snooker him behind the red that you're hitting. But now he looks like he's looking at an attacking option here, which is interesting. I mean, he's got a good angle now to come off the top rail and into those two, if he chooses to do so.
Yeah. I'd nearly be just playing that, and then you give yourself a chance to make the out. He's played it that way. I would have gone your way.
Yeah, 100% rail first, 100%.
Yep. Because you know that the ball's going to come back out into play anyway, and you're not. You're making sure that you're not going in off, which it was a possibility if you hit it like that it does go in off. So I think that is a bit of a wrong choice of a way to play the shot.
Mm. And Ryan had obviously been on a good roll because he was 3-1 down and 1-3 on the bounce to come back to 4-3, but Looks like he hasn't left Mathew anything easy. I mean, he was looking to put the white right behind the yellow, and that looked like the shot to me, but perhaps he just felt like the white was too close to the yellow to be able to do anything with the white ball.
Yeah, but what about if you put it on the same sort of line, but you put it with an angle and then you just come off the side rail?
Angle?
I think that might have been a bit of angle.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Yeah.
And just pot it, then all you need to do is just sort of stun it off the side rail. It's nothing hard about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I agree, I think that was the wrong shot, and he's left himself a horrible shot here on the yellow. It's not inconceivable on these Rassens to drop this in the middle, or he could take it long, but it's not the shot you'd be wanting for having had ball in hand one shot ago.
But as you said a little while ago, though, these middle pockets on these Rassens, they do take them when they're played at slow pace.
Yeah. Yeah, I said yesterday that you don't want to be smashing them in the middles when they're at angle, because they do spit out at pace. But yeah, if you play them at close to dead weight, you can knock them in from a very tight angle. That's a great black.
That's a good recovery.
Very good black.
Yeah. What a good black. We've got a really good match on our hands over here now. 4 all, race to 7, so potentially 3 frames remaining with a maximum of 5. Golden
break from, yeah. What do you make of that
unfortunate.
Rule? Smiley, are you a fan of the golden break rule or not? Obviously, it's not in play here.
Well, I think, look, if you're in Matt's shoes, you'd hate it because he just loses the match out of nothing. But I kind of like it.
It does. I think in the right sort of event, it does create a bit of drama. So at Worlds, they had it in the team shootout. And you could just see that every team was basically trying for golden breaks. Everyone was playing cut breaks rather than front-on breaks because the black ball moves around a lot more than that. And having been on the losing side of it against Wales, where they got 2 in the first 4 frames, it came as a little bit of a sting, but it's a bit of fun, and I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think in the right, as you say, in the right circumstance. The right type of tournament, I think it can be definitely brought in, and I think it's a good thing for the crowd and everything like that. But maybe not in these type of a tournament.
Yeah. So Alex has a chance here to win the match. He's got one tricky ball, which I'm pretty sure does go into the bottom right-hand corner. I think we've seen from Alex already that he has a preference to move balls in that sort of situation, but I personally think he should be looking at how he can land on this rather than trying to move it.
Alex is obviously on the reds, isn't he?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to move it though. There's not really a good ball to be able to get it moved. So I think that it's probably going to be maybe his last ball, and then you just drop it down the rail, leave yourself sort of a shot on the black.
If he can chop this red that he's closest to into the right-hand middle and leave himself close to straight on the red that's in the middle of the 3, he's under hit it and barely hit a rail.
Yeah, just took his eye off the pot and the pace a little bit there. I think he just wanted to get a really nice cannon on the yellow. And it was a tough shot.
It was, yeah. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, only fractionally out of position he was, but on these Rassens, on these cloths, a little bit of angle makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Potentially Matt Harmon might play this ball, play the yellow that he's closest to off the red and try and put his yellow over the pocket. I think the line is there, and I almost think that that's the safest way to play this to make the out.
Yeah, I like the idea. The red looks quite high on the pocket to play that shot, but we'll soon find out 'cause I think it is the right shot if it's on.
Yeah, it was a bit thin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit thin.
If it was
Yeah, I
down
think on
maybe
that
half
one
an
to
inch or an inch more.
yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah. Like I say, that little bit lower, you can afford to hit it thicker then, or you need to hit it thicker, and therefore the red ball is going towards the yellow that you want to move. So now he's got a bit of work to do again. So that yellow does pot. He can choose to land on it, but I think he's obviously of a mindset to try and move it at the moment.
It's not too bad. I don't think he's jaw snookered or anything, but I don't know how much angle he's got either.
He's looking at the jaw. He's just put his hand over the white ball to see whether it's touching the rail. So maybe he's jaw snookered, which would be a horrible result.
Wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely awful. And we don't mean to laugh, but it's kind of funny how you can play such a decent shot and you just land a millimetre, not even a millimetre, and you kind of don't have a shot.
Yeah, so clearly he's jaw snooker because he's looking at the ball at the top of the table now, so that's a horrible bit of luck for Mathew. He's going to be looking, I assume, at a good safety here where he can leave Alex off everything. Well, he hasn't left him off everything. He has left a cut into the bottom right corner, but whether Alex can hold to get a nice angle on the red that's to, how do I describe that one? The middle of the three again, to land on the one on the rail, I'm not sure. So it might just be a contained shot from Alex here.
Hit this ball thick. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not sure that's good. I think he's left that shot to Mathew here. I think that he can, it's close. He's going to have to jab at it a bit, but I think that this goes bottom left.
Yeah, a little soft screw.
On and off the rail.
Yeah, a little soft screw on and off the rail. I think you're right. Get yourself on at least one of the two balls in the middle of the table and then reroute from there. This has to be played very well. Tricky pot.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. So, match point here for Alex if he can navigate these three reds and a black. This isn't straightforward, like he's got a starting pot, but the black is, I don't know, does the black go bottom right, do you think?
I think it may just drop in off the jaw. Alex may even just play the double here. He's very liable to. So just going to play the more obvious shot. Played it pretty well.
Well.
And will we see him flick off the yellow, maybe the black, or will we see him just go back up to where his cue's pointing off the bottom cushion and then come back down? It's still a tricky shot after he gets on this next ball as well to get on the black, so I think we may even see him nudge it a tiny bit. But no, he's going to play it this way.
So I'm assuming that he's looking to knock this into the bottom right hand corner and come across and hit the yellow that's sort of parallel with the black spot to the right of it, and in doing so land perfect on the black in the right into the left centre. This is a big shot. Once again, he didn't cue it as well as you would expect for a cueist as good as Alex. He's looked really tentative on it. He obviously hasn't played the cannon as I thought he was going to. Obviously he could just land on it, but he cued it really tentatively.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he had to just put his cue through that, not smash it, but if he puts his cue through it, he probably pots it.
Yeah. As we both said, he's a very good cueist. He plays a lot of snooker. He cues a really good ball, and he's hit a couple that have just been a bit more tentative than you would normally expect from him.
Yeah, a couple of nervy ones from probably the fifth frame that he won. You know, as soon as Matt sort of started getting back into the match a little bit, we'd seen him be a little bit tentative on a few balls.
Yeah. So this is imperative. I'm assuming Matt is taking the yellow to the left centre. It's imperative that he gets pretty straight on the yellow that's closest to the right rail. That doesn't look great to me from here. Matt is in the way here, but this looks pretty horrible, I think. Oh, he's actually had a result. He wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere near that close to that ball. He's actually finished straight, but he could have been anywhere when you finish that close to it, so that's a big result for him. He just needs to drop this in now, leave himself the yellow along the bottom rail into the left corner.
Yeah, it is risky leaving the red there. I think he might have just been playing to sort of leave it straight for the yellow off the red and open up the pocket. I mean, there's no need to, but potentially what he wanted to do. That's what he has done.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Yeah,
I don't like it
to me,
either.
that's never the right shot. Yeah, to me, you've just got to back yourself to run that through 3 inches and leave yourself a yellow along the bottom rail. That's once again, we said on these pockets, like, you know, if you hit them close to good, you have a chance of making the ball. I feel like you've just got to back yourself to knock that in.
100% agree with you, especially at this stage. Like, it's not first round. We're a couple of rounds in. We're in the top 16, and you're playing against one of Australia's best players. So I think you need to be that bit more confident on it, and just back yourself.
The other thing, Jason, as well, is look where the yellow is. You know, it's not like it was like 3 inches further to the right where you're really short-sided on it. You know, like it was only 2 or 3 inches left of centre. So in playing it the way he played it, it was never going to be that much easier than it was playing it the other way anyway. So I'm really confused as to why he's tried to open the pocket and come across for it. It was a strange shot.
Yeah, it was essentially a 50-50 shot. And, I mean, if he wanted to open it up and put the red in sort of a bad spot, then play it off that ball and then leave it to the left pocket, you know what I mean? And then you don't need to sort of put your cue ball over the other side. You don't have to travel as far.
Yeah. There you have it.
So Alex Pace.
Yeah, Mathew will be pretty disappointed with that, I feel. He'd fought back well from 5-1 down to get back into it, and then unfortunately just a few too many mistakes allowed Alex to take the win. But Alex continues his excellent tournament, and he'll now be in the last 8. Let's have a quick look at who he would play. Yeah, so he won't be unhappy with that draw as well. So Alex will have the winner of Travis Crawley against Morgan Evans. So Travis obviously is massively experienced, runner-up last year, so shows he's still a top player. But yeah, I guess Alex playing well would be confident of going into that and doing well if Travis does win, obviously.
Yeah, I think Morgan Evans is still obviously a very good player. He's very experienced now, to be fair. Played in a few state teams, so he's definitely not the massive underdog in that match. But you would feel that with Travis's vast array of experience and knowledge, he'd be favourite to win that match.
Yeah, he was down actually, so just looking at the scores now, he was 3-1 down in that, Travis was. He's pulled it back to 3-all, so very much game on there. Quickly just update everybody on the other scores. So Andy Barnett has beaten young Riley James 7-3, so it was 3-all, so Andy's put his foot down and pulled away in that one. Still pretty early days in the match between Jeff Cluyas and Maquin Fernandez. Maquin is 2-1 up. We just mentioned Travis's match. The match between Cale Barrett and Simon Singleton remains very close, now locked at 4-all in that race to 7. Craig Stevens against Rusty Wheeler is now 5-all, so that is going down to the wire, it looks.
Big comeback.
I guess that's an interesting one. Yeah, you mentioned earlier, Smiley, about that perhaps Craig, when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, hasn't always sort of managed to find a way to get over the line. Maybe this is a good opportunity for him to prove that wrong. And then in the last match of the draw in this round, Chris Beagley is 2-0 down to Josh Gorski from Victoria.
Yeah, very much a 50-50 match, that one. Biggs is obviously very experienced, being a stalwart of Northern Territory pool, but Josh is a very, very good player.
And meanwhile, we also have one of the tightest matches in the round on stream now as well. So you know, at 5-all. Matthew's just played an interesting turnover there.
Yeah, very interesting. One good pot, and you would feel that Ryan's right back into this frame. Potentially it didn't go past the black.
Yeah, I don't think he did. So I think he's just tried to get a bit of cover there, which he's done.
And although we focused on the other match between Alex Pace over there, this match has been quite good from what I've been seeing. Sort of flicking my eyes back and forth. I've seen a few outs.
Yeah, I agree. The bits I've seen of it, it's been a good match. Two quality players, and yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster as well. Mathew started off good. Ryan came back strong and then took the lead, and now Matthew's punching back again. So it's a real tight affair, which is what you want to see.
Rob, do you know who Dax Wasley is?
I do indeed. He does look a bit like Dax.
Yeah, doesn't he?
Do you reckon Dax has snuck in under a different name?
Well, I mean, I think so. He's at least wearing the right colours.
Yeah, it's actually quite uncanny how he looks like him.
I think he's a bit shorter than Dax, but... Yeah. Even just the way he gets down over the shot and cues is very Dax Wasley-like.
So big shot here for Dax number 2. How is he going to get on this black?
Yeah, this is an interesting shot. I don't know about this shot that he's sort of wanting to line up. I think you have to land on it. Find a way to land on it.
Wow, I was just looking at some of the chats on the commentary actually. So, I'm not too sure who that is, but somebody called out that Mathew Franceschini was the World Junior Champion in 1995. So that's some serious pedigree.
It definitely is. I kind of did recognise his name. I mean, not that I was around because I was only just born in '95, but. Yeah, he looks like he definitely knows what he's doing.
There you go. Before my time as well, obviously, but yeah, there you go. Other interesting fact that's been put onto the chat is that Ryan can devour a pie in record time. There you have it.
I don't doubt.
That's a pretty good effort from Mathew, and he hasn't left Ryan. He's left a pot, obviously, into the bottom right corner, but I'm pretty sure those two yellows are now tied up and neither of those go. So Ryan's got some serious work to do here, either attacking or defensively. Be interesting to see which way he goes.
Yeah, that was a ripping shot. Just asked all of the questions that he has to of Ryan there. That's about as good as he could have ever played it. And if he gets straight, he might have a... It's not quite good enough.
Can he screw on and off the rail to get into it, do you think? No, I think he's looking at the safety, isn't he? Trying to get in behind the yellow. So he's snookered in, but what he was trying to do there was to get right in behind that right of the two-hand rails so that he would cover the one-rail escape. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get the line or the pace right. So Mathew would be pretty confident of getting this off one rail. The fact that it's so close to the pocket means that he's got some leeway with the side rail. If he catches the side rail first, he should still get it.
Which I almost think is a better option, trying to play off the side. Then you can sort of guarantee that you're going to hit it into the pocket.
Yeah, you want to sort of err on the side of that.
Yeah, 100%. I was just about to say, I think he's hit within two sort of straight.
You definitely didn't play shots
Wow.
like that in 1995.
Maybe he just wasn't punished for playing those shots.
Good shot from Ryan. It's coming pretty good. Got to play a good shot here though. He's got to get a little bit of action on this to get across to the side rail for the other yellow, but he's played that nicely.
Could potentially play the double as well, but far out he's played that
That's
good.
great. Yeah, cued that beautifully. Very good. Once again, on these pockets, you've just got to back yourself, cue it nicely, and yeah, it'll drop.
Oh wow!
There you
Using
go.
all of the pocket.
Big frame for Ryan there. I'm sure he'll go and have a quick pie to celebrate before starting the next frame. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I do need to drop. I'll leave you in the very capable hands of Jason Smiley. It's a great match that you watched, and yeah, enjoy the rest of this one. Good luck to both players.
Thank you very much, Rob. We will do this again soon.
Cheers, mate. See you soon.
See ya. So, a bit of a let-off there, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps from Mathew. I think that was definitely his frame to win, but Ryan has done well to claw his way out of that. Moves one ahead with 2 to play, 3 to play. Obviously we just had a bit of a ball malfunction. Had to put a few balls in to see where the problem was, and Ryan to break, hoping to make this the last frame of the match. Gets a good snap, doesn't want to go in off. Oh my god, that's quite unfortunate. He did leave the he did smash the balls everywhere and had the cue ball going around the table, so that's a bit of a, you know, a nitpicky break, but has unfortunately been unlucky as well and got it off. So Matt would like the Reds here. They're all in a pretty decent position. It's just obviously the red near these 2 yellows down the bottom here that could potentially be a problem. He could work that out now. Only needs to flick this red. If he flicks it out into play a little bit or to the left, it should be fine. Or he can try and hit it pretty full-blooded and go into it. I'm almost not sure about that shot. Was just sort of a nothing ball. He didn't really get into a more favourable position, and he's kind of off angle to where he wants to be playing, so I'm not quite sure about that one, unfortunately, but that's a good shot. Now, decisions. I think we need to get into this ball or get behind it very soon rather than later, because he's starting to run out of options. Matthews is putting his arms up in a bit of frustration as to the lack of what he's got, but I think that was maybe slightly wrong way to play it. Sometimes just a nice neat cannon is more favourable than choosing to go into them a bit harshly, because this can happen. Really good chance there from Mathew that wasn't quite taken, unfortunately for him. in such a very important frame. I just feel that the ball that he just took willy-nilly and didn't really get on a nice nice line after that was the issue in that frame. And now Ryan King, what can he do? If he can get into this yellow, he's probably in a good spot. Cued it very well. That was an exceptional shot. And now 100% in the box seat. We'll be looking to play these three colours of black for a berth in the top 8. Tiny bit under hit if you want to be too critical, but he should still be fine. Very good shot. Now Ryan King, this black for a berth in the quarterfinals. And we just see how much that means to Ryan. He tends to be a pretty big match player. He likes the pressure. He likes doing what he can to go through tournaments, and he continues to grind away at doing that. Well done to the Kiwi, and that is it from our stream tables for the last 16. We'll be back very shortly with you for some more action from the Australian 8-ball national titles. Live and free on CueballTV. Big thank you to Dan for all his continued effort and expertise of everything. It's phenomenal that we all get to have these matches anywhere in the world from such good pool, such good venues. As we see Macwin earlier in his match, I don't think it's too far down the match yet. I think it's still pretty early. Anyway, I'm out of here. Stay tuned for more national titles, the 2025 Australian 8-ball Championships. Goodbye.